Hey everybody, David Henry here from LearnStageLighting.com today, and here I am finally glad to put some color in these darn lights. Yes, so we've been working through this week intensity, focus, color, and beam, and we're on our third day. We're talking about color, how to make changes to our stage, how to keep things interesting using color. Before we dive in, if you're new here or you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and click the bell. I want to get you every video in this free series this month on 30 days, 31 days really, to just spend 5 minutes to create great lighting. Awesome. Now that we've got that, let's talk about color. So color, as I often say, is the most powerful tool we have as lighting people. And with the advent of the LED, with the ability to have LEDs and moving lights where every light in our rig can change color, we have an immense amount of ability to create interesting and different looks with color. You see here, I've been changing the colors as I'm talking to you, and that's on purpose, of course. That's because that allows us to really be able to see the impact that color can have on your show. So what can color do? Well, as we've discovered in the last few videos when we've talked about intensity and focus, having a lack of color or not having any color is pretty dull. But, it's how we used to do lighting. A lot of our lights didn't have color in them, or they just were one color all the time. And, it's so cool today to have all these different color options, but it can be easy to get carried away too. One of the biggest things you can do with color and dynamic range when we talk about that concept that we're talking about through this week of saying, sometimes you want things to be simple. Other times you want things to be more busy. And the contrast of the two, from simple like this to more complex to more busy like this, maybe we throw in a third color on the front light. The balance between these things is what really can allow you to create interesting lighting and to keep people engaged and keep the show working. In fact, one of the things I like to challenge myself in, and I like to challenge you into, is even if I'm in a rig like this and I've got some spot fixtures, right? These are my spot fixtures, and actually these are my other set of spot fixtures that I cloned in. Even when I've got two sets of spot fixtures, okay? Even when I've got, a lot of spots and some washes, I challenge myself sometimes for a couple songs, don't use any gobos in the lights, because that allows me to focus fully on intensity, focus, and then color, the third attribute we've talked about here, okay? And I want to challenge you to do the same too, right? With colors, there's so many options of what we can do, right? We can do everything in one color, and that is passionate, it's simple, and it carries an intensity that you can use to match more intense music. Or maybe you keep everything in the back one color, and maybe you change the front light color. Here I've changed it to a light blue. Well, we've got that amber in the back. It's pretty powerful. We could change it around to a few different colors, maybe a magenta, maybe red. And you can see how powerful this is on the stage. For more balanced songs, like, most songs from a pop or a rock artist, you can simply go ahead and use some looks that are pretty balanced, where you're using two colors that are opposing or that match up together and create a real sense of harmony, okay? And so with color, the cool thing about it is the possibilities are endless. One trick that I like to do that I'm doing here is just switching the color within two sets of lights. And it's interesting to see. One thing you can see here, actually, there's a really good tip on the backdrop, on the back lights, is I've got two types of lights here, right? These LEDs, these MAC auras are here, and they are a wash type unit. These Mac Vipers are here. They're a spot type unit that has subtractive mixing. So the wash units, they're an LED, they have additive RGBW mixing, and the spots have CMY subtractive mixing. And as I switch between colors that each are optimized for, you can see how the intensity changes, right? Because more light is let through on this cyan for the moving head spots, the subtractives, than a true blue, which lets not a lot of light through. The opposite is true on the LEDs, right? Because the cyan here makes two colors, but switching them to blue only uses one of their LEDs, and so it's not as bright. And you can use this, as you can see here, to use color really to make a change of the focus and the intensity of what beams you're looking at on the stage, and to change visually how the stage feels, right? Because here you really see those sharp beams, those spotlights popping through. And, you know, for songs, I always tell you to turn stuff off, right? I said that during the intensity lesson, but even without turning them off, we can make them recede in the back by just giving them a darker color and giving the others a lighter color. So I hope that gives you some food for thought on color. I'll link below to an article on color on learnstagelighting.com that really goes into depth about color combinations and how to use it. Then I also want you to get my free gear guide. It's here on this end screen. It's just the gear that I recommend, stuff that I've worked with that I really find to be great products, and I want to share those with you. So if you're looking for lights at an intermediate, basic or level, then just go to this guide, check out my recommendations, because these are lights that are good ones that I've really found to be great, to be exceptional, and to be a good value. Then I will see you guys back here tomorrow. We're going to talk about beam. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to see you here.